watching the 2024 SCAC Fall Media Days. Today, we're taking a look at the University of St. Thomas women's soccer program. The Celts will be led as they head into the season once again under the guidance of Head Coach Taki Stewart, along with leadership from senior defender Aliyah Bustamante. Coach, Aliyah, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much for having us, Russell.
Coach, we'll open up with you. Heading into year two with this group, it's a veteran team coming off of that opening season for you last year. What did you learn about this group going through that first year as the head coach of this Celts soccer program? And what are you excited about with this team as we get ready and start this 2024 year two under your belt?
For us, the big parts of what we learned from this group was their willingness to continue to be more, to be better than the past. It's a very, very resilient group. And that really excites me going into year two. As you said, we have a group that we are returning a lot of veteran players, and that leadership has already started to show, not just this preseason so far, but was very evident this spring as well.
Aliyah, Coach, talks about the leadership and how evident that's been. As one of the senior leaders on this team, I'm interested in your mindset coming into preseason camp. Is there some urgency from you coming into this year, and how excited you just be back year two under Coach Taki, understanding his expectations fully, and now to be back with your teammates? How fired up are you just to be back and ready to go for 2024?
The urgency is definitely there. I'm super excited for this coming season. I think we're going to do very well with the experience we have and the new players who are coming to add to it. I'm just very excited to keep going and see how this season turns out.
Coach, it's funny, we sit here a year ago and you're coming into your first preseason and kind of talking about establishing dynamics and culture and getting to know all of these women, and now coming back in year two, and it must feel so different for you coming to this preseason. You talked about the returners, the veterans. I think 6 players returned that were all SCAC in some capacity from your team a year ago, 23 players in total, 16 that made multiple starts. How much does that help you in terms of your preseason plan? Do you feel like you're further down the road as far as a starting point? Do you feel like you can get into things quicker here as you get prepared for year two? And how much does that help, that experience, for you as a coach?
Yeah, definitely does help us get into things a lot quicker, especially with it's the same group we had in the spring. So a lot of our principles were embedded and now that they're established, now this returning group can now help the new players to get into the full swing of things a little easier that way. So definitely does help with having the players back that has really been here since the last fall. So definitely looking forward to that.
Aliyah, you're part of a defense that last season was absolutely outstanding. Allowed just 11 goals over the course of the year. That was the fewest in all of the SCAC. What was it about this defense that made it so difficult for opponents in that offensive third? And, what is going to be something that's key to try to bring that and continue and carry that into the season? And how do you build upon, the success defensively that you had a year ago?
I thought our communication worked very well. And honestly, since the spring season, it has continued to just grow, and we just learn how to trust one another. Trust is really important in defense. And I feel like that's why we were able to allow the fewest goals, because we just worked with each other and really just depended on one another.
Coach, for fans of this St. Thomas program, what is it about this team? What are some things about this group that you want them to know? What are some things you've gotten to learn about this team over the course of this preseason? What are some things that you think are going to be, very positive for this group as they meet the challenges that will be there in this 2024 season?
So there's 2 big pieces, intangibles that really have really stood out to us. Is that this group is a family. They act like that every single day. They care genuinely for each other, and then this group is really accountable, and is really committed to being excellent And I think when you couple those variables together, special things can happen.
Aliyah, finally, as we wrap up with you, as you've had some conversations with some of the other leaders within your team and some of your teammates about some of the goals and expectations coming into this season, what have those conversations looked like, and ultimately what's going to be key in accomplishing those heading into this 2024 season?
Every day it's just the mentality of coming to practice is to just be better than the day before and to get better. And yeah, I mean, we all just expect each other to give 100% all the time, so that way we can only better our team through one another.
And finally, Coach, as we wrap up with you, success in our field, especially in sports, can be measured obviously in so many different ways, so many different metrics. When you talk about success with your program, with your student athletes, what is that message that you try to deliver? How do you try to sort of quantify and measure success? And ultimately, this 2024 year looks successful if what plays out on the field for this group.
So for us, when we look at success, when I look back at where we were last year, before the season to now, not just from a results, on-field results standpoint, but the culture within the team, the way we behave on and off the field, the way we're viewed on campus and in our community. I can say we have climbed the ladder as it relates to that. For us, we want to put ourselves in position to win every game we play this year from a on-field results standpoint. But for us, the big picture as we speak with our team and to recruits, it's not just the 4 years here at USD, it's 30, 40 years from now. We want to make sure that we're making a significant impact on these young people's lives, so that they're living the lives that they have always dreamt of from their time here. And it's such a special time in a young person's life where they'll meet friends that are going to be in their weddings and vice versa, and that they're going to be on girls' trips with and stuff like that. So it's about a holistic approach for us. But if you talk about results on the field, we want to be competitive. We want to wear our hearts on our sleeve and represent USD in a first-class manner.
University of St. Thomas head women's soccer coach Taki Stewart, along with leadership from senior defender Aliyah Bustamante. The Celts will open up the 2024 campaign at Belhaven on August 30th. Coach Aliyah, thanks so much for time today, and best of luck as you head into the season.
All right, Russell, thank you so much.